Hello everyone, I hope you and your families are doing well. Today is Monday, and we're going to get back to reading the last chapter of A Child Called It, the Lord's Prayer. But before we get to the reading, let's make sure we wash our hands so you can put your electronic device on pause, or you can bring it with you to the sink, grab some soap. I'm going to lean over here to my right, squirt some sanitizer in my hand, and then we can wash our hands together. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? All right, so let's get back to the last chapter here of A Child Called It. And this chapter is called The Lord's Prayer. For some of you who are just joining in, maybe it's your first time logging in, we're reading A Child Called It, One Child's Courage to Survive by Dave Pelzer. And today we're going to read a few pages. We're going to start off on page 131, and we're going to end off today on page 136. So we'll read 5 pages, and we'll finish this last chapter this week. So let's begin. About a month before I entered the 5th grade, I came to believe that for me, there was no God. As I sat alone in the garage or read to myself in the near darkness of my parents' bedroom, I came to realize that I would live like this for the remainder of my life. No just God would leave me like this. I believed that I was alone in my struggle and that my battle was one of survival. By the time I had decided that there was no God, I had totally disconnected myself from all physical pain. Whenever Mother struck me, it was as if she were taking her aggressions out on a rag doll. Inside, my emotions swirled back and forth between fear and intense anger. But outside, I was a robot, rarely revealing my emotions. Only when I thought it would please the bee and work to my advantage. I held in my tears, refusing to cry because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of my defeat. At night, I no longer dreamed, nor did I let my imagination work during the day. The once vibrant escapes of watching myself fly through the clouds in the bright blue costumes were now a thing of the past. When I fell asleep, my soul became consumed in a black void. I no longer awoke in the mornings refreshed. I was tired and told myself that I had one day less to live in this world. I shuffled through my chores, dreading every moment of every day. With no dreams, I found that words like hope and faith were only letters, randomly put together into something meaningless, words only for fairy tales. When I was given the luxury of food, I ate like a homeless dog, grunting like an animal at Mother's commands. I no longer cared when she made fun of me as I hurried to devour even the smallest morsel. Nothing was below me. One Saturday, while I was washing the morning dishes, Mother scrapped some half-eaten pancakes from a plate into the dog's dish. Her well-fed pets picked at the food until they wanted no more, then walked away to find a place to sleep. Later, as I put away some pots and pans in a lower cabinet, I crawled on my hands and knees to the dog's dish and ate what was left of the pancakes. As I ate, I could smell traces of the dogs, but I ate anyway. It hardly bothered me. I fully realized that if the bee caught me eating what rightfully belonged to the dogs, I would pay dearly. But getting food anyway I could was my only means of existing. Inside, my soul became so cold, I hated everything. I even despised the sun, for I knew I would never be able to play in the warm presence. I cringed with hate whenever I heard other children laughing as they played outside. My stomach coiled whenever I smelled food that was about to be served to somebody else. Knowing it was not for me, I wanted so much to strike out at something every time. I was called upstairs to play the role of the family slave by picking up after those slobs. I hated mother most and wished that she were dead. Before she died, I wanted her to feel the magnitude of my pain and my loneliness for all these years. During all the years when I had prayed to God, He answered me only once. One day when I was 5 or 6 years old, Mother had thrashed me from one end of the house to the other. The night before getting into bed, I got down on my knees and prayed to God. I asked Him to make Mother sick so she couldn't hit me anymore. I prayed long and hard, concentrating so much that I went to bed with a headache. The next morning, much to my surprise, Mother was sick. She lay on the couch all day, barely moving. Since Father was at work, my brother and I took care of her as though she was a patient of ours. As the years passed and the beatings became more intense, I thought about Mother's age and tried to calculate when she might die. I longed for the day when her soul would be taken into the depths of hell. Only then I would be free of her. I also hated Father. He was fully aware of the hell I lived in, but he lacked the courage to rescue me, as if he had promised so many times in the past. But I examined my relationship with Father, and I realized that he considered me part of the problem. I believed that thought of me as a traitor. Many times when the bee and Father had heated arguments, Mother involved me. She would yank me from wherever I was and demand that I repeat every vile word Father might have used in their past arguments. I fully realized that her game was, but having to choose between them was not difficult. Mother's wrath was much worse for me. I always shook my head timidly, saying what she wanted to hear. She would then scream for me to repeat the words to her in Father's presence. Much of the time, she insisted that I make up the words if I couldn't remember. This bothered me a great deal because I knew that in an effort to avoid a beating, I was biting the hand that often fed me. In the beginning, I tried to explain to Father what I had lied and turned against him. At first, he told me that he understood, but eventually, I knew he had lost faith in me. Instead of feeling sorry for him, I only hated him more. The boys who lived upstairs were no longer my brothers. Sometimes in years past, they had managed to encourage me a little. But in the summer of 1972, they took turns hitting me and appeared to enjoy throwing their weight around. It was obvious that they felt superior to the family slave. When they approached me, my heart became hard as stone. And I am sure they saw the hate etched in my face. In a rare and empty victory, I sneered the word asshole under my breath as one of them strutted by me. I made sure they didn't hear me. I came to despise the neighbors of my relatives and anybody else who had ever known me and the conditions under which I had lived. Hate was all I have left. All the core of my soul, I hated myself more than anybody or anything. I came to believe that everything that happened to me or around me was my own fault because I had let it go on for so long. I wanted what others had, but saw no way to get it. So I hated them for having it. I wanted to be strong, but inside I was a wimp. I never had the courage to stand up to the bee, so I knew I deserved whatever happened to me. For years, Mother had brainwashed me by having me shout aloud, I hate myself, I hate myself. Her efforts paid off. A few weeks before I started the 5th grade, I hated myself so much that I wished I were dead. School no longer held the exciting appeal that it had years ago. I struggled to concentrate on work while in class. I struggled and to concentrate, but one Friday afternoon in the winter of 1973, for no apparent reason, I stormed out of the classroom, screaming at everyone as I fled. I slammed the door so hard, I thought the glass above the door would shatter. I ran to the bathroom, and with my tiny red fist, I pounded the towels until my strength drained away. Afterwards, I collapsed on the floor, praying for a miracle, and it never came. At this point, David is losing faith, his faith in God. He's losing hope because he's so tired of living his life just every day with no one helping him. His brothers are turning their back on him now. They're jumping him. They're beating on him. His father, that was once his hero. Now he realizes his father will never help him. He feels helpless at this point. And it's hard for David as he's going through a lot. So I want to thank you all for reading with me today. I hope that you have a good day, and I look forward to reading the rest of this chapter tomorrow. And enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.